I hope to neither be long or long-winded here, but I really feel the conviction to talk about something that has really been burdening me for at least the past week or so. And I want to give a word of caution to those of you who may come across this video who follow Jesus, really, who not just believe with your lips, but follow him in everything that you do. And more than ever, we're in a high time for deception. The Bible actually calls it that we're in a wicked and an adulterous generation, because a wicked and adulterous generation look for signs. There are more people trying to figure out who they are by using horoscopes or tea reading or crystals, or people are trying to figure things out, and they're using by all means, right? I'm not active on TikTok. However, whenever I saw that there's a lot of fortune telling on TikTok, which is quite disturbing. Yet we remain hopeful. Anyway, in Matthew 16, the Pharisees, after Jesus is doing miracles, healings, all of this, the Pharisees ask him for a sign from heaven that he is who he says he is. The Bible actually says they came to Jesus testing him. And he calls them a hypocrite because they know how to discern the face of the sky, as it says here, but they don't know how to discern the signs of the times. And he says in verse 4, a wicked and adulterous generation seek after a sign, and no sign shall be given except the sign of the prophet Jonah. What is the sign of the prophet Jonah, you may ask? I would really want you to read it and discern for yourself. But my interpretation of it is the fact that Jonah stayed in the belly of the whale for 3 days, and then the whale spit him out, and he went and declared the message that God gave him to the people so the people could be saved. So essentially, the signs that we need to look for is the life of Jesus, is the message of Jesus being carried out. I've fallen victim to listening to prophetic words where they're saying, this is going to happen tomorrow, or, God says, this very specific thing, and then we become eager for these signs. We become eager. I remember a time where I was watching prophetic words where they're like, suddenly this will happen, and I'm like waiting, almost getting angry with God that this is not happening the way that he said it would, based on some of the things that I find myself listening to. We really have to be discerning like never before, and I think that starts with going back to a place where we really fear God. And it says that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So where do we start in fearing God? Understanding wisdom and wisdom principles. There's another scripture I wanted to read very quickly, which is in Proverbs 5, and this is the Passion Translation, so it's a little bit clear, but listen very carefully to this. It says, listen to me, my son, for I know what I'm talking about. Number 1, listen carefully to my advice, so that wisdom and discernment will enter your heart. And then the words you speak will express what you have learned. So it invites us to listen first to what God is saying, get his wisdom, and when we speak, it will, whatever we say will be very clear that we're learning from the wisdom of God. It says, remember that the lips of a seductress seem sweet like honey, and her smooth words are like music in your ears. But I promise you this, in the end, all you'll have left is a bitter conscience. For the sting of your sin will pierce your soul like a sword. She will ruin your life, drag you down to death, and lead you straight to hell. As I read verse 6, this is where the caution comes in. It says, she has prevented many from considering the paths of life. Yes, she will take you with her where you don't want to go, sliding down a slippery road and not even realizing where the two of you will end up. So this is about the influence of this woman, this adulterous woman from this perverse and adulterous generation that we've read in Matthew 16, where you're looking for signs, you're looking for things, and you're influencing others, and you have no idea where the both of you will end up. So I'm following you, and you don't even know where you're ending up. So become very selective in the content that you're taking in, and what it's been, what signs is it pointing you to? Is it trying to point you to your future and your destiny and purpose in a way that has the reverential fear of God and has the undertone of wisdom? Or is it something that's pointing you to your future and your destiny that seems like it says her like music to your ears? This is what you want to hear. Remember, the Bible also tells us that in the end times we will become those who, with itching ears, wanting confirmation after confirmation after confirmation. Get it confirmed by the Lord, or you'll be led astray, just like the person who is speaking to you about where they think you're going.